Welcome to Film and Page. I'm Dominic. In this video, I'm going to be talking about some comic book news. Now, when it comes to comic book news, the only stuff I've really talked about is the things that have been related to the Dune comics. And really, that's the only thing that's got me excited in a long time about comic books. As far as comics go, it's still one of my favorite hobbies, but as far as new things coming out that really gets me excited, there hasn't been anything. The only thing I've been really gotten anything excited for is the Dune comics and the stuff that Marvel's putting out through their Epic Collection line. So like the older stuff that involved like the Incredible Hulk and Silver Surfer and that, and some other stories. But anything for their current stuff, nothing. Nothing has gotten me excited. Not really. There hasn't been anything. Same thing with DC. Nothing they're doing over there has gotten me excited. But some news came out yesterday that really did get me excited. And that is that PITT is coming back to comic books. So I seen this tweeted out yesterday by Ethan Van Sciver. All Caps Comics is publishing PITT by Dale Keown. So there was this rumor going around, and I didn't really pay much attention to it because there's so much drama going on with Comicsgate. It's not as much as it used to be. It's kind of simmered down, but there still is some drama going on. And I did a whole video about why I walked away from Comicsgate, so I'm not going to get into that part of it again. But one of the rumors was that Dale Keown was now crossing over and was going to join Comicsgate. And that rumor got started because Dale Keown did a cover for one of Ethan Van Sciver's Cyberfrog comics. Now, as you remember, Jay Lee did a cover for Cyberfrog, and I talked about that. And he took a lot of heat for that. Twitter came after him and all that kind of stuff, even though he wasn't associated with Comicsgate and he didn't take any sides or anything like that. It was a whole thing. It was a really bad mess and a lot of drama got stirred up over it. And I did a video about that. And that's the thing about comic books. A lot of the videos I've done, they've been like usually ones like that are pretty negative. But this is actually one that I'm feeling positive about, and I really am excited about. So there was this rumor going around he was going to join Comicsgate and all that, and whatever. I didn't really pay any attention to it until Ethan Van Sciver shared a clip from his one of his live streams where Dale Keown was a guest, and Dale Keown apparently has joined Comicsgate. Apparently, I don't know that for sure, but he's on the live stream. He said, "Hello, Comicsgate." So I don't know for sure that he joined it or whatever. But that part I really don't care about. The part that I am excited about is that he's going to be doing PITT again, and it's going to be published through Ethan Van Sciver's All Caps Comics. So I'm guessing this is probably going to be a crowd-funded project. Would be my guess. It's something he's going to do through funding. And that's one of the creators always wondered why he just didn't go do crowdfunding on his own. He could have stayed totally neutral and not joined Comicsgate or anti-Comicsgate or anything like that and done a crowdfunding project and would have made bank. Either way, he's going to make bank, I think. Because there's a lot of demand for these older artists, because in modern comics now they just do covers and things like that. They don't do any runs anymore. So usually you'll see a cover of the comic. The cover will be really good, then the interior art will just be just a mess and just garbage. That's one of my big gripes with a lot of the modern Marvel and DC stuff. But Dale Keown is one of my favorite artists. He might even be top 5 maybe. Definitely in the top 10. And so before I talk more about this, I want to get into a little bit about my background with the character of PITT. So I know Dale Keown from his run on the Incredible Hulk. That's where I first came across his artwork and was just blown away by his artwork there on that run. And he did quite a few issues, and he was teamed up with Peter David. And it was just an amazing run, and his artwork was he's one of my favorite Incredible Hulk artists. And then he left the book, and I think after him, Gary Frank took over, and Gary Frank was actually another really good artist. So there was a really good run there of 2 artists that were very good on the Incredible Hulk back to back. So he went over to Image and launched his own comic. And so I was in the comic shop one day, kind of looking around for something to buy. And back in the day, I would always like pick up random stuff. Like I didn't really follow too many comics like month to month. I usually would go in and just pick up random stuff, bring it home and read it. And then every now and then something would hook me by doing that. So I was in the comic book store and I saw this cover for PITT issue number 5. And I think I'm a little bit familiar with the character because I had seen some like ads and stuff for the comic in Wizard magazine and stuff, but never really got around to reading it. And then I really liked this cover. This cover really grabbed me. So and I picked up the comic, started flipping through it, and the artwork just blew my mind. And right away I recognized it as Dale Keown's artwork from his Incredible Hulk days. And it was just, all I could say, it was just really, really over-the-top, outrageous artwork, stuff that you really don't see nowadays. It's almost like back in the 90s, that's where comic art peaked and almost hit like this evolutionary dead end and kind of the slide back. Like it's not too many artists can draw like these guys anymore. And here's like a look at some of the interiors for that issue number 5. And I remember just reading it. I couldn't get over how cool the character looked and how cool the fight scenes were and that really insane looking werewolf that he drew. It just instantly grabbed me. Like, it's just one of those things that every now and then, you know, when you come across a show or a book or a comic, it's just something about that piece that just really grabs your imagination. And there's been a few things like that in my life that, you know, certain TV shows or books or comics or even music, it's just something about it. It just grabs me. And this was one of those examples of this. It was this comic just grabbed me. So after I read number 5, I went back. As soon as I went back to the comic book store, I tried to get like all the back issues for the character. And, you know, just followed the character right after that, just grabbing up every issue as it came out. And it just seemed as time went on, the artwork for the comic just got more and more insane. His artwork just got better and better and better. With each issue that came out, it was just a phenomenal run. And PITT is easy my favorite Image character. And now this Image is a very different thing now than what it was back in the 90s, but when it was started, it was like a really exciting thing because like all these characters, PITT and Spawn and Youngblood, they were all in the same universe. So it was like another universe that was competing against Marvel and DC. It was like an alternative to that. And they brought over all the best artists from Marvel. And the other thing is the coloring they had for their comics was way ahead of the game for what Marvel and DC were doing at the time. And they really gave Marvel and DC a really good run for their money. Back then, it was just fantastic stuff. So PITT, again, easily one of my favorite Image characters. And now the comic run wasn't a very long run, but it did have some problems. And now I'm going to talk about some problems I'm foreseeing with the crowdfunding thing. Now, the artwork was like out of this world. Fantastic artwork. And that is what brought me to it every single time. Every month. It was just the artwork. I just loved it. The interiors, the covers, everything. Dale Keown was such a fantastic artist. But the waiting between issues was very, very long. I think the comic started in 92 or 93, and it was 22 issues, and the final issue came out, I think, in like 2001, 2002. Like, that's how long gaps there were between the issues. Long gaps. You were waiting like 6 months between each issue. So that was really tiresome. But when you did get that issue, I mean, the artwork was fantastic. Now, the other problem with the character is the first arc is easily the best arc. It's a very good, tight story. It's well written because Dale Keown had a writer with him. If I remember when I used to read the credits, I'm pretty sure there was someone else writing that comic. Now, for the second arc, Dale Keown wrote it himself, I think. And he's a fantastic artist. I'm going to be honest, he ain't such a good writer because it really went, it really jumped the shark, that second arc. So there's that. So this is two of the things I'm kind of worried about this new project is how long are we going to be waiting for the crowdfunding, if this project is crowdfunded, people that go in on it, how long are we going to have to wait? So it's 2021 now, or like, will I get this in 2026? And the other thing, who's writing it? Is he going to write it himself? Is he going to get someone to help him co-write it? Because if I were to do my own comic, and now this is like, if I had like lots of money to spare and I wanted to make a comic, I would like look at what my weak points are. If I could draw really good, I would stick to the drawing part and come up with the story, but then I would hire a writer to flesh out and write that story for me if I didn't know how to write or wasn't a very good writer. Vice versa, if I wasn't a very good artist, but I could write really well, then I would write a story, and then I would hire an artist to draw the story for me. I would like try to like eliminate my weak spots like that. So that's my two concerns, is how long we're going to have to wait for the project if it's crowdfunded, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be crowdfunded. And number two, how well written is the story going to be? Now, it could just be, one thing would be nice, and this I would go in on, and this would be easy to deliver, I would think, is just reprint all the original run of PITT and do that as a hardcover through crowdfunding. That would be nice. But it would also be nice to have an original story. And hopefully that story was well written. And I'm curious to see how his artwork has evolved through the ages since he's done PITT, because I know some of his Marvel stuff, like he did an issue with Peter David, they got together for like almost like a retro comic of the Incredible Hulk. It was like a one-shot deal, and his artwork was good, but I know how good he can be, and it was just kind of like his artwork kind of came across as he was just collecting a paycheck. So hopefully, if he goes in on this, he really just goes insane with the artwork. That's what I hope. But can't wait to see what's going to become of this. This is very interesting. This is something that's got me really excited for a change, and it's something that I'm happy to see happen in comic books. So that's everything I got to say in this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you at the next one. I'd like to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you all in helping this channel grow. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded.